The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the metallic voices of 1,000 species, each representative eager to share tales of their ancient glories. But it was the Krillian ambassador, his crystalline body refracting the station's artificial light into fractured rainbows, who commanded the floor. 500,000 cycles ago, he boomed, his voice modulated through a dozen translators. My ancestors conquered the primitive world of Sol 3. We harvested its resources, enslaved its simple bipedal creatures, and moved on to greater conquests. It was unremarkable. Murmurs of approval rippled through the assembly. Conquest was the language of the ancient empires, a rite of passage for species reaching for the stars. In the back of the chamber, Tehumman stood perfectly still. Mia adjusted her diplomatic uniform, her dark eyes betraying nothing as she watched the Krillian preen. Beside her, Kevin's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. They had known this moment would come. Earth's diplomatic corps had prepared them for it during their 3-year journey to the Galactic Council's heart. Interesting, Mia whispered, her voice barely audible over the alien chatter. He doesn't know. None of them do, Kevin replied, his fingers dancing across the holographic display only they could see. Should we tell them? The Krillian continued his boast, spinning tales of how his people had ruled Earth for nearly a century before abandoning it as resource depleted and evolutionarily stagnant. Other species chimed in with their own stories. The Vex Collective had strip-mined Mars. The Thrillian Horde had used Jupiter's moons as breeding grounds for their war beasts. The Sol system, it seemed, had been everyone's playground 500,000 years ago. The humans were barely sentient. The Krillian laughed, a sound like shattering glass. They cowered in caves, worshipped us as gods. We left them with nothing but myths and memories. Mia stepped forward, her boots clicking against the chamber's smooth floor. The sound cut through the chatter like a blade. Ambassador, she called out, her voice amplified by the chamber's acoustics. On behalf of humanity, I'd like to thank you for your contribution to our development. The chamber fell silent. 1,000 alien eyes and eye analogs turned toward the two humans. The Krillian's form shifted colors, cycling through confused purples and irritated reds. You dare interrupt? Oh, I dare, Mia smiled, and there was something in that smile that made the nearest delegates unconsciously step back. You see, we've been listening to these stories for 3 hours now. The Krillians conquered Earth, the Vex mined our system. The Thrillians bred their creatures on our doorstep. Everyone, it seems, had a hand in shaping early humanity. Kevin activated the central holodisplay, and suddenly the chamber was filled with images, ancient cave paintings, megalithic structures, mysterious artifacts that had puzzled archaeologists for centuries. We always wondered about these, Kevin said, his voice steady. The impossible architecture, the astronomical knowledge that shouldn't have existed, the sudden leaps in human evolution that made no biological sense. You're welcome, the Krillian said smugly. Our genetic manipulation accelerated you misunderstand, Mia interrupted, her smile widening. We're not thanking you for helping us. We're thanking you for the challenge. The holodisplay shifted, showing Earth's timeline, not the one taught in alien academies, but the real one. The one humanity had carefully hidden for 3 centuries, since achieving faster than light travel. When you left Earth 500,000 years ago, Kevin continued, you thought you'd broken us, strip-mined our resources, enslaved our ancestors, manipulated our genetics. You thought you'd left us with nothing. But humans, Mia said softly, have a remarkable talent for making something from nothing. The display showed humanity's true history, not a species that crawled from caves to civilization in 10,000 years, but one that had been building, learning, and adapting for 500,000 years. Underground cities that had hidden from the conquering aliens, scientific knowledge preserved in secret, a species that had taken every genetic modification, every technological scrap, every painful lesson and turned it into weapons. You see, Kevin explained, while you were out conquering new worlds, we were studying you. Every species that invaded Earth left something behind: technology, genetics, cultural patterns. We absorbed it all, learned from it, improved upon it. The holodisplay showed Earth's current military capacity, fleets that dwarfed the combined forces of the Galactic Council. Weapons that made their plasma cannons look like children's toys. Shields that could withstand a supernova. The caves you forced us into became laboratories, Mia said. The slavery you imposed taught us logistics and organization on a planetary scale. The genetic manipulation you performed gave us adaptability beyond anything you could imagine. Every atrocity you committed returned into a lesson. The chamber erupted in chaos. Delegates screamed accusations, demands for proof, threats of military action. But Mia and Kevin stood calm at the center of the storm. "We didn't come here to conquer you," Kevin said, his voice somehow cutting through the noise. "We came to join you, as equals. But understand this," Mia added, her dark eyes sweeping across the assembly. "Earth remembers. Humanity remembers. Every species that came to our world thinking we were primitive, thinking we were weak, thinking we were resources to be exploited, we remember all of you." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle over the chamber. 500,000 years ago, you thought you'd conquered Earth. You were wrong. You gave us a gift. You showed us the galaxy's cruelty, its dangers, its challenges. And we spent 500,000 years preparing for the day we take our place among you. Kevin deactivated the holodisplay, plunging the chamber into relative darkness. When the lights returned to normal, he was smiling not with malice, but with a genuine warmth that somehow made his next words even more chilling. "Welcome," he said, "to the age of humanity." The Krillian ambassador's crystalline body had turned a pale, sickly white. Around the chamber, delegates who moments ago had been boasting of their ancient conquest now looked at the two humans with something they hadn't felt in millennia. Fear. Not the fear of immediate violence, but something deeper, the fear of meeting a species that had turned suffering into strength, oppression into opportunity, and 500,000 years of victimhood into an unbreakable will. Mia extended her hand toward the Krillian, a gesture of peace that somehow felt like a challenge. "So," she said sweetly, "shall we discuss Earth's application for council membership? I promise we'll be excellent neighbors." In the silence that followed, one thing was clear: the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived.